Bum, bum, bum. Okay, the drums. Okay, the guitar rip. The guitar is still ripping. Due to the explosion, the victim's identity is unknown. They were, however, dead before the blast. The victim had been stabbed a single time with a knife, which went completely through the body. They had also been struck in the head with an object about as thick as a metal pipe. The body was covered with other wounds, but these were at least several days old. So even the Monokuma file doesn't tell us who the victim actually was. The unidentifiable body. Could it really be Kyoko? Or... I have no choice. I have to investigate. I have to uncover the truth for myself. No matter what, I have to find out what happened, or we're all dead. I need to head back to the scene of crime, back to the garden. I just need to do what I always do. Okay. Welcome back to another episode of Danganronpa Happy Trigger Havoc. Trigger Happy Havoc. Why would they do this? But anyways, if I check the body more thoroughly, maybe then I'll find out if it's Kyoko or not, for sure. I mean, those nails. What is chp5? More chp5 than Makoto. There's something weird about the body's fingernails. Oh, these are fake nails. They're really long. They seemed like they will get in the way of normal activity. Fake nails. There's something on the back. Is this a tattoo? It got burned, so I can't make out the whole thing. It looks like a picture of a dog or something. I've never seen anything like it before. Tattoo on the right hand. Oh, is this Kyoko? Not Kyoko. Junko? The lower half of the body didn't get wet at all. After the body blew up, the top half got set on fire, so I dumped a bucket of water over it. Which explains why the bottom half isn't wet. There isn't anything strange about that, right? The white jacket with the victim was wearing got totally burnt up. There's only one little piece left. The upper half of the body got on fire, it's totally backlit. Also, the top half of the body is wet. That's because it got set on fire and threw water on it. Since I only threw water on the part that was on fire, the top half, the bottom half was still dry. In other words, there's nothing strange about the top half being wet. That there isn't, right? Below the body remains. Yeah, stuck away from the body. I hate the sound of this place. I count 4 chickens. 4?
Yo!
What's going on, Makoto? Oh, I'm glad you're here. Listen, do you remember how many chickens there were in here? Of course, there were precisely 5. Yeah, right? What's wrong? There's only 4 chickens here now. No one, now we're 1 short. It's so weird. I wonder when it disappeared. I was down here just before nighttime last night, and there were definitely 5 chickens then. What are we gonna do? Going from 5 to 4 is gonna have an impact on the structure of the world. It's like a jigsaw puzzle. If even a single piece disappears, the entire world will remain unfinished. Oh, I forgot to do my accent. I did my best to ignore hero and focus on the problem at hand. Why did the chicken disappear? Could it be related to the case? Chicken poo chickens has been added to the truth bullet. Okay. Just to be sure. The room is dusty, disorganized, and in other words, a pretty stereotypical tool shed. Is this a tarp? Wait, was that a tarp here before? I should probably look into that. It could be related to case. The top is wet, but the underside is totally clean, completely dry. On one side of the tarp is wet and dirty. Something about that bothers me. The other thing in this room is... there's something carved into the handle of this toolbox. Crazy diamond. Very intriguing. There's a lawnmower. Flower pots. Okay, I guess there's nothing else. There's a knife lying on the ground. Is this It must be the knife that was stuck in the body before it exploded. The force of explosion must have thrown it over here. The Monokuma file said the knife went all the way through the body, from the front and back. Does this mean the knife is what caused the fatal injury? Either way, this knife looks really familiar. Wait, is this... That's it! The knife that person is holding. This is getting really weird. There are just too many strange coincidences. Stop showing me this scene, please. Whoever the person in the mask was that attacked me last night, they were holding that knife. And that same knife was used to stab the same masked attacker we found here. So maybe this masked person got stabbed because when they attacked, I was in kind of a trance. Maybe I reacted by grabbing the knife, and maybe then and if this really is Kyoko, it will mean Kyoko is the one who attacked me. But why the mask? I just don't know. I don't remember anything clearly from last night. No, it can't be. There's no way. Knife at the crime scene. These look like fragments of something. They're all burned. I can't be sure, but I feel like I've seen this somewhere before. But where? Wait, was it there? To double check that later. What are these? First time Makoto actually figured out something I didn't. I can't figure it out. This panel is a sprinkler. It's turned on 7:30 in the morning. So the sprinkler turns on 7:30 each morning, right? Then if the body was here before then, the sprinkler should have gotten wet, which would mean the murder must have taken place. After? Perhaps. The Monokuma flower, huh? Is it true? Does it eat people, plastic, and I don't know, stuff? Anyway, I don't think it's related to taste. I'll just stay away. Who does that body belong to? Oh, I accidentally clicked on that. Listen, Makoto, do you remember how the body looked, you know, before it grew up? If I remember right, it was wearing some kind of mask and a big white coat. Also, there was a knife sticking out of the stomach, and the area around it was stained with blood. Apparently, the wound stopped bleeding, but the blood on the body was still wet. Byakuya said not to touch it, avoid getting all bloody. But for how much blood there was on the body, I didn't see any on the ground around it. Wow, thanks, that was a big help. Now that you explain it, I totally remember how it looked. Well, having to talk about it helped me remember it a lot better. So thank you, too. Body before explosion. Good timing, Makoto. I wanted to talk to you. What do you want to talk about?
So in other words,
I want to hear your alibi. Alibi?
In other words,
Correct. I'd love to hear where you were after nighttime began last night. Well, I was sick, so I was asleep all night. But why are you asking about that now? And what's nighttime got to do with it?
naturally.
Isn't it obvious? This murder took place after nighttime. How can you know that for sure? Because just after nighttime began, I came to the garden. I was going around looking for everyone, so I could tell them about Monokuma. Hiro's been spending most of the time in the garden the last few days, so I figured he'd be here. But I can confirm that when I arrived last night, there were no body here. And the murder could only have taken place at sometime during nighttime after I left the garden. However, Tokuhiro, Hina, and I were in the gym together the entire night last night. What? Once I found the Hiro in the garden, we immediately went to the Toko and Hina's room to get them. At this point, we all went to the gym and began dismantling Monokuma. As a precaution, we made sure not to go anywhere alone. We even went to the bathroom in pairs. In other words, all four of us have airtight alibis. The only ones who don't have alibis are me and Kyoko.
That's right.
If the victim really is Kyoko, then I'm the only one without an alibi. Also, when we went to get Hina and Toko, we stopped by your room as well. But you never came out the door, so where precisely were you? I'm telling the truth, I was in my room, but I was dead asleep. I had a fever, so... That's hardly an alibi. I know. So what now? You seem to be quite the disadvantage here. I'm the only one without an alibi. That's really bad, isn't it? Byakuya's account. It's 11 o'clock right now. Okay, and...
Serious.
Oh, well, I was thinking about it when we first found the body. When the body was found, huh? I should look back to this morning to help remember when that was. Monokuma's announcement woke me up at 7 o'clock, went to the dining hall, met with Hina, that was 7:30. gym. Toko went to get pickaxe. He found the body. What time was it then? Now then, Toko, what time is it? Well, when we left the gym, it was just before 9 o'clock, so it's probably 9 on dot right now. That's right. It had to have been around 9 a.m. Ah, now you mention it, I think you're right. So I think we can say for sure that body was found at 9 a.m. Alright, my job is done. That's a pretty small job. When the body was found. I think I checked everything I need in this area. There are other areas checked. Specifically the fragment I saw before. There's somewhere I need to go to confirm. What? And I still need to find out more about Kyoko. Is that corpse really Kyoko? That's true. Was that also Kyoko who attacked me last night? If I can find out more about her, maybe I can answer that question. Kyoko was never the kind of person to talk about herself that much. Maybe if I can get to her room, I can find out more. But the key to her room...
It's all clear now.
I'll simply limit your options.
What?
I don't have a choice. I'll see if he'll let me borrow her room key. Oh my gosh. Hey Byakuya, if you do come with an alibi, I'd be happy to hear later, at the class trial. No, it's not about that. You have the key to Kyoko's room, right? I was hoping I could borrow it. I'm afraid I can't take that risk. You're the prime suspect after all. Of course, if I were to go with you, that would be a different story. Then will you go with me? Sorry, I have my own agenda to take care of. Find me again later and we'll see. Depending on my mood, I might go with you, or I may not. Come back later, huh? Okay, then in the meantime, I should look for somewhere else. Check out more... that one area. What is that red frame? I don't remember anything like that at all. Is it that classroom? What? It's not related. I wonder. It's locked. Still. I wonder if they mark it for you. Oh, it's the gym? What does that do with the gem? Monokuma's discovered. I figured it wouldn't be here.
You know?
Oh, it's the bomb. I just found something. What is it? It's what? It's a bomb. A bomb? That bomb went missing. No doubt about that. The fragments I found in the garden. Fragments near the dead body has been updated. Truth bomb. It's a truth bomb, perchance. Okay, I've checked everything else I can think of. All that's left now is Kyoko's room. I should head back to the garden and ask Byakuya. Okay. You think you can go soon now, Byakuya? You wanted to check out Kyoko's room, right? Very well, let's go. Ah, wait for me. Byakuya walked out without a second glance, and I hurried after him to go to Kyoko's room. Well then, here we go. Byakuya took out a key and slid it into a keyhole. Click, and it's open. Looks like it, thanks. Very clean, nothing in there. Except, so this is Kyoko's room. There's something on the table. It's a wood block decoration.
What?
What's that? What purpose does it serve? I think it's probably a key. The lockers at those really traditional public houses use them for their keys. I wouldn't know. I've never gone to a public bathhouse. That doesn't really surprise me. It's hard to picture Byakuya doing something like that.
It's certainly
But if it is a key, I think I might know what it unlocks. Really, what? Unless I'm mistaken. I'm pretty sure I saw something in the dojo that this might lead to. The dojo. Here's the bathroom. You might have certain articles hanging out to dry. I better not look inside. Here's her bed. I don't see anything that interests me, at least not as far as this case is concerned. Oh, I mean...
What?
You want to come here, right? So, what is it you're looking for? Nothing particular, I just thought we might find some kind of clue here. A clue that might help us understand
Come
Kyoko.
on.
Can't be serious, that's why you made me take my time out of my search to come here? So sorry. Regardless, if you plan on poking around at random, you're doomed no matter how much time you take. Surely you have something more concrete, something to give us some sort of direction here. More concrete. Oh, I know. Earlier, Kyoko gave me something. What's this?
It's true.
Consider it a symbol of my determination. Don't open it yet. Only open it if something ever happens to me. I'm sure I have it here somewhere. I found it. What's in the envelope? Kyoko gave it to me. She said if something ever happened, I should open it. Well, something
Interesting.
certainly has happened. So open it. Okay. I opened the envelope and looked inside. Inside it was a single piece of paper. Under the sheets.
What?
That's all that was in there? Yeah, looks like it. Under the sheets, what could it be? But could something be hidden on the bed sheet? Part of me didn't expect to find anything, but as I lifted up the sheets, what's this? I found a crumpled up piece of paper. Student 78, number 78, a class number 78 student registry? I don't know how I can read that sentence more wrong. Mukuro Ikusaba?
I see.
Appears to be Mukuro Ikusaba's profile. Yeah, seems like it. That's probably the other thing that Kyoko stole when she snuck into the headmaster's room, along with the key. God, you're so annoying! This must be the blank that Monokumo was talking about. Kyoko and said a death without meaning was unappealing, and this is what she left behind. I don't have time for your sentimental indulgences. Hurry up and finish your search. Oh, okay. I made an effort to pull myself together, then looked down at the profile sheet. Name, Mukuro Ikusaba. Sex, female. The ultimate soldier. Although small for her age, she was a military specialist trained in every weapon type imaginable. She showed an interest in the military from childhood and soon found herself completely absorbed in it. In elementary school, she won a survival game tournament and began writing for military magazines. Bear Grylls here. We got Bear Grylls here. Just before entering middle school, while she and her family were on vacation in Europe, she disappeared. The story of a young Japanese girl being kidnapped quickly took over Japanese media outlets. An intense international investigation turned up no information. She was never found. However, she reappeared in Japan 3 years later, alone and completely unannounced. She revealed that she had joined a mercenary group known as Fenrir for those 3 years. She insisted she hadn't been kidnapped, that she'd received battle training of her own volition. However, she never revealed why she decided to return home when she did. Mukuro's profile has been added to Truth Bullet. The Ultimate Soldier, a mercenary group. That doesn't feel real. The world I grew up in is like a complete different dimension. It's like one's non-fiction and others is sci-fi. There's no way to compare the two. That's how different this is. That was how I saw things just as a normal person, but then I never imagined I would hear the name Fenrir in a place like this. Huh, you recognize it? The Fenrir Mercenary Corps is a collection of battle-crazed warmongers, but they have their uses and always get the job done. That's worth remembering. This is part of a world totally removed from the one I lived in. I have to say, I'm intrigued. Every rumor I've heard about that Fenrir has already...
Found it!
Wow, I feel like our hero is becoming a bit player, and a bit player is becoming our hero. What does that mean? Have you gotten the... What have you got in your pretty little hand there? Uh-oh, you found her profile? So what if you did?
Hey.
Don't freak out on me. I'm not gonna hold it against you or anything. And in case you're wondering, I don't hold it against Kyoko either, even though she stole it and hid it. After all, there's no rule against stealing, is there? But I can't forgive is Miss Ogami, who broke the rule and busted into the headmaster's room. Maybe I'll drag her corpse out here and slice it up and devour it. Bears are omnivorous, you know.
What?
Are rules violations really so unforgivable? unforgivable? You are quite adamant about those regulations of yours. Of course I am. A proper school life is built on the dedication of organization and order. Which is why even I, a schoolmaster, would have to follow the regulations myself. Oh, so you're saying you have to follow your own rules as well?
Of course.
Absolutely. I can't have you complaining about how unfair it all was, right? In fact, on the subject of fairness, would you like to know something interesting? Interesting. It's about time one writing all the rules. It's about the one writing all the rules. They are actually one of the participants in the killing game. I don't think I ever told you how many participants there actually were, did I? I was thinking I should probably clarify that.
Hey,
When you all first got together in the main hall way back when, there were 15 people there, right? I think the first meeting may have led to a little misunderstanding among you all. A misunderstanding, are you saying?
in other words.
That's right, there weren't actually 15
yes,
of you.
indeed.
The total number of students taking part in this killing game was actually 16. 16 done.
Mukuro Ikusaba, the 16th student, lying hidden somewhere in this school. The one they call the ultimate despair. Watch out for her.
The 16th student, Mukuro Ikusaba. She's part of this school life. So the one making all the regulations is... Why? Why are you telling us this? Well, because... Like I told you, this killing game is desperately popular. You wouldn't believe the ratings. And since we got so many viewers now, I wanted to make sure everyone was on the same page. I didn't want to wake up a hurricane of complaints and hate mail, you know?
Yes, indeed.
Make sense?
Well now.
Okay, that's all you get for now. Oh, actually, I have some revenge to get. So I have an extra bonus for you. Revenge. I want to get back at the sneaky Miss Kitty Kitty. So I'm gonna share a little secret with you. Seriously? You know how she wears those stupid gloves day in, day out all the time? Well, don't tell anyone I told you, but she wears them to cover a bunch of hideous scars she doesn't want anyone to see. What? Okay, now that's all you get. Monokuma's account has been added to Truth Bullet. Kyoko wears those scars to cover up that glove to cover up a bunch of scars? Wait, so, on the back of her hand, that tattoo. Wait, but no. Monokuma specifically said there were scars, right? And that's why Kyoko wears those gloves, to hide the scars, which means... those fake nails on the corpse. Are you thinking about Kyoko again? Huh?
What?
Forget about her. What matters right now is uncovering Monokuma's trap. His trap?
Such ignorance.
God must have really hated you to make you so dull. Don't you remember what Monokuma just told us? He said there were 16 students, right? Which means Mukuro was a student here. Obviously, Monokuma is trying to tell us that Mukuro is the one creating the rules to the game. But why would he tell us that? And why now? He said he wanted to make things clear up so there wouldn't be any complaints later. But the mere fact that he said that proves Mukuro is connected to this case. That's why Monokuma revealed the existence of a 16th student. He needs to make our investigation fair. Mukuro's related to the
certainly
case?
possible.
Perhaps she's the one who killed Kyoko. What? That'll explain why we would have to have a class trial, wouldn't it? If she was a student and she killed someone, that would make her part of the school killing game. Mukuro's the killer? She killed Kyoko? Anyone should be able to come to that conclusion, don't you think? In fact, that's exactly what I thought when the investigation first began.
What?
But based on what Monokuma just told us, I've changed my mind.
It's all clear now.
Mukuro Ikusaba isn't the culprit. Huh? What makes you say that? We thought Mukuro, the ultimate despair, was the mastermind's true identity. But if that's true, Monokuma's behavior makes no sense. Why would the mastermind go out of their way to reveal themselves to us? That's a good point.
In other words,
Mukuro's giving us information that would raise questions about her would be bold, to say the least. It makes more sense then to assume that Mukuro isn't the culprit. So that's the trap. They want us to suspect Mukuro and come to the wrong conclusion. That's what makes sense to me. The way you said it definitely does seem plausible, but if that's really true, and Mukuro isn't the killer, then who is? Well then, I believe our work here is finished. Let's move on. I'm sure there are other places in need of investigation. I should find out if that key and the dojo really are
go.
connected. Well, are you coming? Hurry up and check the locker. That's what we're here after all. Why we're here after all. There's wooden lockers here. There are wood block keys, just like those super traditional bathhouses. Looks like the key we found in Kyoko's room really does go in one of these lockers.
I see.
Makoto, do you see the locker farthest to the right?
Very strange.
That's the only one that doesn't have a key in it at the moment. You understand what that means, right? I should probably use the key we found on the locker, right? Well, just try it. Okay. I took out the woodblock key and inserted it into the metal lock. The lock eagerly accepted the key and it opened. There are arrows in there. It looks like 10 arrows in total. They look like they're made of titanium, which means they're quite strong despite how thin they are. Of course, without a bow, they're nothing but strong little sticks. Strong sticks. Titanium arrow. There's something else inside the locker. It's a weird wadded up ball of duct tape. I wonder what it's used for. Is that a blood stain?
See.
If it is, it means it must surely be related to Case. This duct tape is related to Case somehow, but how could it be involved? Bloody duct tape. I think that's all the locker has to offer for now. Something
Very
wrong?
strange.
It's very odd, don't you think? The locker was hiding items that were clearly related to Case, but how did the key to the locker wind up in the victim's room?
Why?
Or perhaps... Byakuya. Forget it. Come on, we need to continue to the next location. Huh, what's the next
What?
location? There's something we need to look into. We need to do more research on Fenrir. Fenrir, you mean the mercenary group that Mukuro was a part of? But how are we supposed to find out about that? Isn't it obvious? Where in the school would you go to do a research on something? Research. Are you talking about the archive? That's right, the archive have all kinds of info that the general public does not have
Let's
access
go.
to. We only have so much time before the class trial begins. Let's hurry. I believe there was a file related to Fenrir somewhere over here. Byakuya seemed to know the archive like the back of his hand and went straight to the shelf in the back. Ah, here we go. He quickly returned with a file in hand.
I see.
Take a look at this. I have no idea what it says. What language is this? How did you make it all the way to high school without learning a single word of French? I'm pretty sure most high school students can't speak French. Well, whatever. I'll read it for you. But I expect you to repay your debt 100 times over. 100 times? Isn't that kind of extreme? Fenrir is an elite fighting unit based out of the Middle East. Unlike military contractors, they are a fierce group of soldiers who engage in direct combat. They claim that a single member is equivalent to an entire company of regular soldiers. Just like Fenrir, the Wolf of Ragnarok, their mere presence is enough to strike the fear into any enemy. They have been involved in countless military battles and operations, most of which are highly classified. However, some time ago, they completely ceased all activity. At present, their continued existence cannot be confirmed. There are unconfirmed reports that key members of the group were all neutralized. Rumors indicate they were killed to keep them from revealing the many state secrets they've acquired. Some, however, believe there was mounting internal tension within the group, and they simply imploded.
What?
What is it? This all just sounds like some kind of alternate reality. Well, it isn't. This is our reality, the only reality. These people are part of our world. Their battlefields aren't much different from our lives here. An unpredictable, unimaginable world. That's what makes it all exciting. Exciting definitely isn't the word I would use. So did anything jump out at you? This may be your last chance to learn about Fenrir. Now that you mention it, the report says something about the name Fenrir comes from, right? That's right, the Fenrir is Wolf of Ragnarok. Speaking of which, would you like to know something interesting related to that? I'm quite literate in Norse mythology myself. To show that they are a member of the team, each soldier that joins the squad will get a tattoo representing Fenrir somewhere on their body. What? They got a tattoo of Fenrir? Could that mean Mukuro Ikusaba's profile added to Truth Bullet? What? This character didn't even appear?
Utterly
They don't even need
silent,
to...
And yet it constantly assaults us organisms, the earth,
Absolute
natural
cinema.
phenomena.
Absolute
It damages us
cinema.
little by little until the end. You should really think about that. Anyway, it's time to begin the class trial. So, please meet up in the usual spot. See you later.
This investigation is really short. Then the time has come. All we can do now is try to uncover the truth during the class
That's
trial.
right.
It would seem that way. Let's go. Okay, everybody, this has been a really short episode, but investigation was short. So see you guys next time for the 5th class trial. A lot of things are gonna go down in this one, I think, since there wasn't that much research to do apparently.